to this full moon reading. Okay, I just did a whole reading and realized I didn't even record it. So I don't know how this is going to be. And I've opened the cards now as well because, of course, they're revealed. But let's just get started with this full moon energy. So the first thing I want to sort of bring to your attention is what needs to fall away is actually any fears that you might be holding on to. So this could be a fear of committing yourself, which is the next card actually. But say, the fear of sort of taking a step forward in your life, the fear of letting things go, that that's way past its sell-by date or has had its own story, the fear of actually letting go of your own identity or maybe what you've done before and moving into something new. So this is very much about what needs to fall away. Okay, so whatever is holding you back, you'll know in your life what it is. Okay, so if you're afraid of leaving a partner, you've really come to the realization that it's the end, or it's really boring, or it's not fulfilling you, or whatever. Okay, it may be you need to fear, release the fear of working all the time so you can be more present in your family or whoever it is, with your children, anything like that. So whatever your fear is, because this is general reading, you really need to start looking at letting it go. Okay, so work through your fears. Okay, do any healing cards that you might have, which also is a card of healing. This is such a shame that it is being, I wasn't able to, I just didn't even realize I hadn't recorded it. So this is also what you need to know now. So this is another card that's really needs to be illuminated. Okay, this is what you need to see. And what you need to see very clearly is the fact that you need to actually start putting your mouth where your money is, or walking your talk, or actually really committing yourself to whatever it is that you are deciding to commit to. It could be a new pathway, it could be a project, it could be a hobby made into a career, it could be actually you moving countries, it could be you deciding that you're definitely going to not work in the same place anymore and then make changes and start creating the changes, taking the steps that you need to make that changes happen. This is the card for you. This is very much what we need to see, that we need to do. And this is also telling me that this is what we need to, if it's being tested, if things are not working out in your favor or things are a bit slower than you imagine it to be, or you're kind of struggling to move forward or whatever, this is about your commitment. You're being tested. So do not abandon yourself in the direction that you want to go. Okay, so this is what we need to see. Okay, what needs to happen next, which I think is also a beautiful card that supports this, is I feel that there is some healing that needs to happen. And I know for a fact that is the case, because this has been the theme for many, many of us, and many people have really needed to look inward. Now, those who have not been really doing any healing work as well, you will find that you're going to have to start paying attention to some healing. So if you're sort of the person that's always repeating the same patterns, always going round and round in circles, always choosing the same types of boyfriends, partners, wives, girlfriends, always kind of having a work situation reflect back the same kind of issue. Could be about bullying, or you maybe even going round and round not thinking that you're good enough at something, or you don't even know what you want. Definitely there's some kind of healing or some kind of work that needs to be done. And this is exactly the phase that we're moving to. All right. The other thing I want to say, it's a really good time to be doing this before December and January, because we're in the last quarter of the year now. Okay, so we're in October, and because of the way the astrological planets are, we are being asked to go inward and do some self-excavating and looking at our truth and what really needs to be healing. Okay, some of you also might have found that you've had some run-ins with some friends or some family members or a partner that was rather unexpected. This is the climate of the current Aries full moon, which we're in, and it's been leading up. The energy is like a tide, so it just, so you might have found that you've already been walloped, by somebody or the other person. Now, the first thing you need to do is, of course, heal yourself and hurt anything that has come around that. Perhaps look at if there's anything that you contributed to it, or you're not responsible for somebody else's reaction. However angry they get or whatever they lash out, that is not your problem. Okay, so that's the first thing you need to know. So you might need to heal that aspect of yourself and saying, it's not so much it has nothing to do with me, but another person's reaction is never about you. It's about where they're coming from. So know that. But if you're feeling really sort of triggered by that, or abandoned, or really hurt or wounded through an interaction, definitely that is calling out for some healing. Okay, I got 2 cards that fell out for my third card, so this is the other card, and it says you are loved as well as your loved ones. I think it says you and your loved ones are safe. Sorry. Okay, so that's the other thing. While things are uncertain right now, while things are challenging right now, and it will be, and it will continue to do so. Just know that you're safe and you're never on your own. You can always ask for the divine love or angels, archangels, or any deity, okay, or your divine spirit to go inward into your heart and know that you're safe. You're always safe and you're divinely protected. All right, if you have some chronic kind of depression or some kind of mental issue or fear, okay, that is healing being called out. So go and seek some counsel, a coach, somebody like me, or go towards what could help you heal and move you forward in your pathway. Okay, you are being asked to be committed to yourself. This card also is very much about personal commitment now. We've all shed a massive layer of, I won't say a layer of skin really, but metaphorically it is, of course. And it's as if we're all woken up to a new path, a new self, a new way of working, a new way of being, you know, and we're just definitely not the same people that we've been in the last year, and certainly since January as well, or, you know, even the last few months. So you'll know what I'm talking about, and this is where you need to stay on path and stay committed to who you are, who you're becoming, and where you're at this point. Okay, we're all in a spiral growth, so wherever you are, it's important that you commit yourself to your projects. All right, and if you need to let go of some, do not be afraid of letting go of the ones that served their purpose. Now, as a supporting cards for these, the full moon card, this is a full moon spread. I also decided to actually open up the Wild Offering card Oracle by Tosha Silver. Okay, this is her box. Okay, and I love this. This is a really lovely deck. It's often based on some very simple, positive or prayer, okay, that could really help you through. And I think at this time we could all do with some kind of prayer, okay, whatever your form of a prayer. It could be a rote prayer, or it could be a prayer with a particular theme, okay. But what's lovely about the supporting card for the fear card was courage. So this is very much about taking courage and really letting go of anything, everything and anyone that is no longer really fits in your life, and to not be fearful of that. And I also mean people who have come onto your Facebook and, you know, sort of requested a friendship, and then all they're doing is touting their business to you, okay, or anything like that. Do not feel guilty about that. If it's not speaking to you, you know, you get to choose how you use your Facebook profile page or your business page or your YouTube page or your whatever, okay? Your home, it's your domain, it's your platform, it's a social platform, and it's the same within your own home, okay? So have the courage to be honest about who you want to be with, who you want to partner with, who you don't want to be around with anymore, who you need to let go, and any changes you need to make, okay? And I'll read this message here. It says, divine courage is not the absence of fear, but a nudge that says, keep going, all will be well. You have to get quiet enough to hear it, and divine may, and it says, dear divine, sorry, I may feel your courage and your will. Okay, so do pray. You know, if you're afraid, you know, if you don't even know what, maybe if you feel like you're being held back by something, there's obviously fear there. Ask to be shown what that is, or ask to be led to the right person to help you through. All right, so takes courage, but courage is, in effect, walking with heart and walking through fear as well. So a lovely, lovely card to support that. Okay, the card that I got for the commitment is being tested also was really great, and was positivity. So this is saying to, for me anyway, I would interpret this positivity card as keep your focus on the direction you want to go. And when you're committed to something, there's an energy of positivity. Yes, there's a sense of desire to get there. There's a desire to fulfill something, to create something, to do something. Okay, and what naturally happens is we'll get hurdles, blocks, obstacles to test our commitment and test our truth around that. Okay, so the idea is to stay positive, or stay focused on the positive energy that first birthed itself when you first decided that that's what you wanted to do. Okay, and I say this with, you know, sort of clarity, in the sense it is really important to keep your focus forward. But there are times sometimes, which is what, like I said earlier on, we might have to let go of certain things that we thought that once, you know, and we're afraid now to let go of something that we've become so used to having out of rote habit, or just because we feel safe and comfortable. So there's a double, with anything, there's a, you know, a double-edged sword with it. But in this case, to do with your commitment is being tested, stay positive. If you've got hurdles, delays, people letting you down, things not working out in your favor, things coming at you, just remain positive, go into yourself and really get clear on your beauty, your vibrancy and your inner star, as I say. All right, so let's see what Tosha has to say about this. Okay. Oh yeah, she talks about gratitude, which is also really important here as well. So in order to stay positive as well, you need to have the gratitude prayer, if you like, in your life on a regular basis. Okay, so make a habit of praying first thing in the morning before you get out of bed, of being thankful for being alive, for being thankful for what you have, your feet, your body, all your senses. The same in the evening. Thank speak to spirit about the day you've had, even if it's a really shitty day. Be thankful for that, because it's teaching you something, it's showing you something. Every shit can be used as a positive fertilizer, if you like. Okay, so just recognize that there's always ways of actually turning something around, all right, using it to your benefit. But gratitude is definitely a restorer of the heart, mind, and the spirit. Anyhow, she says, if you can find even one thing to be grateful for, it will restore you to the light. Please, dear God, let me always feel gratitude for something, even a tiny thing, and even in the hardest situation. Okay, so you couldn't get anything more beautiful than actually even for the commitment, okay, because it says here, even in the hardest situations. So sometimes, yes, we do get tested out. We kind of think, really, my God, how long is this going to take? What's happening here? Where we could actually really feel let down. And there are times, I was thinking this yesterday, that sometimes one can really feel let down by there's no God, that you're so on your own, no matter what you do, no matter where you turn, no matter who you go to, or anything that you do, you feel you're really on your own, or there is no one helping you out, or your prayers are not being answered, or something is really, really going wrong. Okay, sometimes it is, in fact, a commitment to faith as well. Okay, we all get tasted. You don't have to be religious or be part of any religious sector to believe in faith. Faith is like a principle of life. It's a law, if you like, a universal law that really we can hold on to and actually, sort of engage in. And a lot of times people are actually challenged on that as well. Okay, it's a very, lonely road if you don't turn yourself to divine spirit or also have faith, no matter how hard things turn. But keep your mind positive, okay? Especially in this next full moon cycle as well. There could be some challenges, some delays, things popping off, things falling apart, whatever. We have got some Uranian aspect as well, which could very much trigger that happening. All right, so I talked about time of healing, and interestingly, the next card as well is about loneliness. So I do feel like some people could be feeling this loneliness. And like I said earlier on, just previously, about sometimes you can actually feel like you've got no support from anybody or anything, okay? You're never on your own, always reach out, okay? And again, just reach out, even if you feel that you're on your own and you haven't got a loved one in your family, in your immediate life, you might not even have a sibling, or your families hardly speak to you, and you're a bit of a, I don't know, maybe a recluse, or perhaps even feeling certain feelings that you don't feel like anybody would understand, or you just feel like, oh, they're going to think I'm really small or petty. Okay, there are great groups out there. Reach out to them. You're never on your own, and most importantly, always call on divine spirit or angels or archangels or any of your personal deity that can really support you. Really, you're never on your own. So just trust that you can actually be supported. Okay, and for this prayer here in loneliness, it says, when you stop fearing your aloneness, okay, you stop settling for less than you deserve. I think that's a really important message. Okay, we only compromise ourselves with people, friends, jobs, or anything when we actually, without realizing that there must be a sense of aloneness, that we'll be left alone. Sometimes people hold on to really terrible partnerships and relationships because they're actually afraid of being on their own, or think that they're getting too old and nobody's going to love them at this age or this stage of their life. Okay, that's just rubbish. It's just in your mind. So you're settling for less, okay, if you're actually letting fear stop you, and the sense of isolation as well, okay? But here it says, may I embrace and love my solitude, and that's when kindred spirits can finally come. And this is very true. You have to start getting back into yourself and starting loving yourself, so you can actually start really creating relationships that do not devalue who you are. So I think this full moon is going to be an overall essence as well of actually really embracing and letting go of fear of actually not being in a partnership. I've been doing a few readings actually, and it's been really reflective of that as well. Some people have been really holding on to relationships that are really no longer serving them, and they've got all these excuses under the sun. But what if she does this, and what if so-and-so does that, and this and that, or I feel really kind of like on my own because he's now gone off with somebody else. Okay, you have to strengthen your inner core. Okay, if anybody wants to do any healing work with that, I do offer that, and you'll find it in the description box below, or you can go to my website as well, www.rafasaba.com, and I do a life script series which really help reconfigure your sense of self, that you matter, all right, and you can actually really become vibrant and whole and actually come from your core. So this is something that can be worked through, okay, through healing and a process that will really allow you to embrace your life fully. Now, finally, the last card, which was a bit of a bonus card because actually it was at the bottom of the deck before I finished the last, unrecorded reading, was the body card. Now we've got also Venus and Virgo, and we've got some kind of Virgo tones, and this is about getting refined in your habits and actually really clearing the decks in every shape or form, but allowing yourself to trust your body as well. So do love your body, whatever shape, size or form it is. Start embracing it. Stop comparing yourself to other people. If you know that it's actually not at its best health, start doing something about that, okay, and start integrating some personal body work in some shape or form, breath work, going out in nature, doing yoga, running. Listen to your body, okay? Don't be one of those runners that wears a bandage and you're still sort of pounding the pavement, okay? That's no respect for the body either, okay? It's not a machine, all right? And eventually it will backfire. I know of people as well that, you've completely abused it time and time again, despite what the body has been crying out. And now you're in a chronic situation where your health has deteriorated, or you're having to get, tested out for something more serious condition, where life has forced you to actually stop doing certain things because your body is now in need of greater attention. So do not wait for that. Okay. The other thing I also want to say about the body, in terms of, not so much healing, but I think for me, the body also is a really great barometer. Okay, so listen to your body in terms of your fear and the commitment. Really notice, okay, if you're fearing something or you don't like something as well, you tend to sort of lean back. Okay, so use your body as your inner compass. If you want to go towards something, you will naturally want to go towards something. Okay, you don't have to really think about it. It doesn't have to be a headspace, situation. All right, so trust your body. The final thing I want to say about the body is, give it gratitude every day, for it is a miracle what it does. We take everything so for granted. And for those maybe who've witnessed people, through the COVID thing, or even yourself through certain injuries you might have had, one becomes really grateful for the body, because we just do. Okay, you really realize, just grateful for that. You can walk, you can do this, you can do that, and you've recovered. So, just have full gratitude for what the body is, for what it can do. And really on the final note around that is to use it as your inner barometer. So if you're in a quandary, you don't know what's next, where you need to go, use your body to lean in towards things or to move towards things. So just to finish here, the prayer for the body is, it says, show me, divine, how to love and how to fully care for this body. Please give me the radiant miracle of accepting my body as it is. Now, this prayer, you don't realize the power of prayer as well. When you make a prayer, okay, and the answer comes. Say, for example, you're praying for, okay, I really want to improve my body and I don't really know what to do and I kind of don't like this and I don't kind of like that. So show me, God, what would be the best way for me to exercise it, or how to eat. Just start noticing how you're feeling around the situation, or maybe what advert or what somebody's recommending, or what's come up in your sphere at the time of the prayer being answered. Okay, when the prayer is being answered and you decide to bypass it, you're not actually aligning yourself to the integrity of the prayer and what's showing up. Okay, so this is also your body. I've done this so many times, and it's amazing what remedies might come to my attention, or what food stuff suddenly I recognize that I might have bought that actually helps with the condition. So our prayers are always being answered, no matter how not petty, but how maybe insignificant maybe you might think the situation is, but nothing is ever insignificant. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at there. Oh yeah, one more card that I also pulled out is the far-sightedness. This is from the Self-Mastery deck, that was a tiny little sort of box of insights, if you like. Okay, it says far-sightedness. So I think this is also really important here. It says, I want to make sure my vision is not limited to what seems to be in front of my life. So again, do not look just narrowly, but look further out, okay? Which also comes back to this commitment. Think about positive. Look in the direction you're going, okay? Make decisions on on the long term as well. Really important. Okay, as a master, my eyes are always open for the long-term consequences of action. So, you know, sometimes you might want something or need something, or you want to do something, and you're rushing through like a bull in a china shop, wanting to get something done without the consequences, or maybe was that really necessary? Did I really have to do it that way? Or maybe it solves an immediate problem in your mind, but not looking at the longer consequences, whatever that could be. So farsightedness very much is the guidance or overarching guidance as well to do with this full moon. So let the full moon really highlight and show you what you need to commit yourself to, you know, with the foresight and the farsightedness to it. Okay, let go of anything that's no longer serve, you know, and even ask yourself, does this person really going to serve me in the long term? You know, have I seen this happen over and over again? You know, and then just know that in order to be farsighted, you need to make that decision, recognizing that maybe this is just not going to change. It's now time for me to move towards what really brings me joy, lots of happiness, and a sense of liberation, really. So I'm going to end it here. I hope you got something out of this reading. It's almost slightly totally different to the first recording, but there you go. As it's always recorded straight and raw, you know, the words never really always come, by no means actually, in the same way, because it's not scripted. But yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. Any information you need about my services are also below or through my website, okay, which I've already mentioned. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I will catch you in the next upload of the current energies in the skies. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye for now. Bye.